Welcome and good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Dalia, and I'm on the mobile client success team here at Smarter Agent. And today's training will run about 25, maybe 30 minutes, and it's titled Dominate Your Market with Your Mobile Real Estate App. It is the second in our series. This training is exclusive for Bend Premier Real Estate. And as I said, this is the second in a series. Last week we did intro to your app and your Engage portal. Today's training focuses more on how you actually use the tool to generate transactions, but we are going to do a very, very quick review of some of the functions in the Engage portal because it's by looking at the data that's in there, you're going to be able to have actionable insights to reach out to your clients to generate transactions. Let me just check something here. I see Linnea's got a question. Okay, Linnea says the webinar from last week is uploaded on your company YouTube channel in the training section. So if any of you haven't seen that yet, you can go to your company's YouTube channel and review it there. Thanks, Linnea. Okay, so let's jump in. At the end of this, and you probably saw it before I went into presentation mode, we're going to share with you a simple formula. We call it as easy as 1, 2, 3, which is probably what you're doing anyway. But let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm with Smarter Agent in, what's today's date? 2 weeks from now, I'll be here 1 year. Started May 22nd last year. Prior to that, I've been working in real estate and have had the opportunity to teach, train, and coach thousands of realtors across the country. And I've noticed a couple of things that successful realtors do consistently. These are not necessarily related to your app, but if you do relate these to your app, I think you'll improve your chances of being successful with your app. But these things I put up here, they apply to anything in your business and really anything in life. But in particular, in real estate, one of the most important things that we can do, and here I'm talking about our app, but anything we do in real estate will warrant a commitment. And I had the pleasure of working with a gentleman who ran a 2,000 agent brokerage across about 20 states. And I was lucky to have a couple of one-on-one sessions with him. And he said that if you're going to make a commitment to anything in real estate, you should make a minimum commitment of 12 months. And the reason for that is we know not everything happens day to day, week to week, month to month, or even quarter to quarter in real estate. So to see if something really is worth your time, you need to make a commitment to it for 12 months. How many of us have done it ourselves? I know I have, or have seen others that say, I'm going to start a farm. I'm going to really get after my farm area. And they work it for 2, 3, 4 months. Nothing comes of it, and they abandon it, right? So same thing here. You're going to put in the work before you see the results. And all we're asking is that if, and you're here today, so I assume you want your app to be part of your business, but if you're going to make it part of your business and plan around it, that you do commit to it for a full year. Now, I believe in the power of written goals, and I believe that every realtor, and certainly ones who are more successful, take the time to sit down and plan out their business. They have written goals as to how much business they're going to secure, and they break it out into what we call sources of business. So I just mentioned farming. So maybe farming is a source of business. Maybe going after for sale by owners is a source of business. Maybe you're good generating leads with Facebook ads. That would be a source of business. So maybe you want to include generating transactions exclusively from your mobile real estate app. That would be a source of business. So pick 4 or 5 or 6 sources of business. Define how much business you hope to secure in the year on that source of business, and then write it into a plan, put it in writing, and state how many transactions you're going to do from each source of business over the course of the year. And then once you've done that, once you've committed and said, I'm going to work on these 5 or 6 things, you need to carve out slots of time on a daily, a weekly, maybe a monthly basis, depending upon what it is, and make sure that time on your calendar, here's a word I didn't know what this meant when somebody used it on me, that time is inviolate, meaning nothing can change what you do with that chunk of time. You're focused on that task and nothing else can bump it, right? And then I think the last thing here maybe is the most important. Obviously, going about all of this with the right mindset is important, but having realistic expectations might even be more important. So let's give an example. Let's forget that we're in a global pandemic right now and let's pretend it's January 1st. And I'm sitting here with my app and I say, okay, I am going to make a commitment to my app for the whole year. I've got it my business plan. I'm blocking out time to work on it every week or every 2 weeks. And I'm going to do X amount of transactions this year exclusively with my app. So this is for you to decide, not me. But if it were me, I'd look at a number like 4 to 6 transactions. I don't know your market. I did look at a few homes, I think last week, and looks beautiful and the price points are nice. So I know here in South Florida where I am, a starting transaction is going to throw off about $10,000 in gross commission. So number one, if I have expectations to do only 4 transactions with my app, that's $40,000 gross commission over the course of the year. So number one, that's enough to get my attention. And number two, having that realistic number, here's what it does for you. We're in May right now, right? So again, if we weren't dealing with the global pandemic and if it were January 1st and I set a goal to do 4 transactions in 2020 from my app, and now here we sit on May 6th and I've not done any transactions yet, yeah, I'm upset because I'm behind pace. But guess what? I know I've done the work and I'm building my client list and I'm getting more apps downloaded and people are using it because I'm going into the Engage portal. So it's reasonable for me to expect that I can make up that transaction I should have closed by the end of March, right? So by the end of June, I should have 2 transactions closed. I can still make that up. It hasn't become hopeless, right? But if I didn't have realistic expectations and I said I was going to do 36 transactions through my app this year, and now we're at May 6th, I don't know what the math is, but I probably need to have 10 or 12 transactions closed by now. And when I don't have those realistic expectations, that's when people tend to give up because they get so far behind the goal. They say, what's the use? I'm never going to make it. Okay, so some of the folks at Smarter Agent were at an Inman conference last year, and the woman on the bottom of the screen spoke about sphere of influence, which is pretty much everything we do revolves around sphere of influence. And she said, it's a gold mine. And she also said that if you had a literal gold mine in your backyard, you wouldn't sit on it. What would you do? You'd be out there mining it, right? So same thing with our sphere of influence. Regardless of how long you've been in the business, everybody comes to the table with a sphere of influence. Your job is to start communicating with them, sharing the app with them to get it out there so that they can start using it. From a sharing standpoint, we've made it about as easy as we can to get the app in the hands of your sphere of influence. You may recall from some of the previous training, you can simply hit your share app button on your main menu and share via Facebook, Twitter, email, text. We even talked about, and I'll give a nod to it later, on the platform WhatsApp, right? So there's many ways that you can share the app. But then when you share the app, there's one more thing you need to do. You need to encourage your clients to create an account. So you want to encourage them to click the login button and then on this second screen, it says don't have an account, sign up. You want to encourage them to do that, because when they do, they'll give you that information on the third screen: first name, last name, phone, and email. Now, you may recall from last week that if they don't give us that, we don't know who they are. We still track everything that's going on in the app, but we can't see who they are. We can't reach out to them. So, and you may recall that's because of Apple and Android's stringent privacy restrictions. But just so you know, it's better for your clients if they do this, because then they will be able to save properties and save searches and get notifications, which they can't do unless they create an account. And back to realistic expectations, not everybody's going to do this. Not everybody you share the app with is going to download it. So maybe you share it with 100 people. Maybe 70 download it, and of that 70, maybe 50 create an account. So rather than worrying about the people who didn't download it or didn't create an account, we're going to focus on the 50 that did create an account, because now, wow, we can see everything they're doing. We can reach out to them if there's something timely that's occurring. But we're not going to cry about the other 20 out of the 70 who downloaded the app but didn't create an account, because they're still using the app and they could still come into us as a lead. So don't be discouraged. Realistic expectations. Not everybody you share it with is going to download it, and not everybody who downloads it is going to create an account. So this is actually step 3 of my formula at the end. So what do you need to do? You just need to keep sharing it and keep sharing it and keep talking about it, right? Because if you do that, you'll get your share of those that download it and create an account. And that's where the real fun is. So here's a cartoonish example that basically shows an agent doing nothing but sharing the app with a past client. And then you can see how it goes. It spreads. I don't want to say viral. This is not viral. Would be if he shared it once and he had 1,000 people reaching out to him. But he's got a past client. They know him. They trust him. He helped them with their last transaction. The wife shares it with her son, who shares it with a friend. And next thing you know, the agent has 2 new people in his or her pipeline that are looking for properties. And it doesn't always work that way, but it works enough of the times that we have a number of agents that we can point to. We call them agent spotlights. And if anybody at Ben Premier would like to be a spotlight realtor for Smarter Agent, if you're having success with your app, we'd love to know about it. Write you up, get you some free press. Like George here, he's up in North Florida. I don't know his exact market and his transaction volume, but if he were in my market, he did 1 sale and 1 listing, and then this was actually 3 rentals. So those numbers in my market would throw off about $23,000 in gross commission. So we'd only have to do that twice over the course of the whole year to make an extra 50 grand, right? So it is happening. It's happening every day. All you need to do is share your app. And sometimes all you need to do is share your app, and it can happen quickly, right? Because we do allow you to share on some of the social media platforms, you can get that 1-to-many ratio, right? Where you can do 1 post and share it with 300 friends of yours, or however many followers are on your business page. So it does happen. So I want to just make sure everyone is logged in, and then we're going to talk about how to unlock your sphere of influence, specifically through accessing the statistics in your Engage portal, so you can use the data about your clients' usage in the app to help keep yourself top of mind and always know what's going on with them. Quick review. If you haven't done this yet, you probably want to look at the recording we did last week on your YouTube channel, or B, grab a snapshot of this screen, because I'm going to go through it real quick. In order to access the Engage portal, you do need to activate it. There's a one-time process you need to go through. Let's go through it quickly. Step 1, go to login. Step 2, go to the bottom of the screen where it says agent login. Remember that middle portion of the screen, you really want to get your clients to go there and register. Step 3, enter your email address, and if it's the very first time you're doing it, to activate your Engage dashboard, you're going to enter the password as the word engage. The app knows you're a realtor trying to activate your Engage dashboard. It sends you an email with that link. Click the link, re-enter your email address, create a password, and voila, your Engage portal is activated. But you do need to log into it. And how you log into it is you go back and you redo steps 1 through 3, except this time in step 3, you're going to enter the new password that you just created. I'm going to leave this up for 5 seconds so you can grab a screenshot if you need it. Okay, really brief review of the Engage portal, because this is where you're going to come to gather all the knowledge that you're going to do when you do your outreach to your clients. Remember, it's 3 components: Mobi board, timeline, client. The Mobi board is all date range specific, shows you the usage that you have in your app, and then shows you how engaged your clients are by putting them in categories of highly engaged, moderately engaged, and a low level of engagement. And you can swipe through your Mobi board to see more of the data here. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. Second component of the Engage dashboard is the timeline. Timeline is where you can see real-time activity as it's occurring in your app. So you see a couple of maps on that first and second user. So these people are doing searches in a geography where the map is showing you. So that can be real interesting information to have at your fingertips. And it's really much more powerful when you can see who's doing it, right? So that top user, he or she did not create an account, so we just see an ID number, but we can still see there's usage in our app. So it's still a good thing. But with John Roberts below, it's way, 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 way better, because now I can hit that blue contact button and I can contact him to talk about the search he's doing right now, or I can click on his email address, which will take me to his client profile in the dashboard where I can see everything else I want to know about John Roberts. So that's a review of timeline. And then the third part of the Engage dashboard, where we say allows you to know what your clients want before they do, that would be the client profile of the Engage dashboard. And here's a couple screenshots of what you can see in the client profile. The client contact information when they've created an account, what price ranges they're looking at the left now, what price ranges and what areas they're looking in. And then over on the right-hand screen on the bottom, we can see what properties they've actually viewed. And then I probably made a big deal out of this last week because I think it's awesome. The recommended properties section, which is where the app takes everything it knows about this client, goes back into the MLS to see if there's any similar properties that this client might be interested in. And if there are, it brings them back here and makes them available for you, because it wants you to be the hero. Now you have the opportunity to reach back out to your client to have conversations about these properties. But remember, all this is in real time. So what is today? I know we're all losing track of days. Today is Wednesday. So if we look at this on a Wednesday, we want to call Kimberly on a Wednesday. If we don't call Kimberly till Saturday, I guarantee you those 5 recommended properties are down under the viewed properties. So make sure you're coming in here often and checking this. Okay, so now, why do we do all that? Well, like it says on the bottom left, by studying the information that's in the Engage portal, by looking at the usage, who's doing what, where are they doing their searches, what properties are they saving, does the system have any recommended properties? You now have the confidence to make informed calls. So before you pick up the phone and call Kim, you look at her usage and you can see, okay, She set 3 searches and saved 7 houses. So now you know about that. So you can speak in relevant terms to her. And sure enough, she's in the market. And she told her buddy Jack, who's also got it narrowed down to 3 neighborhoods. So it's all about just giving you that ammunition and confidence, because yes, we do recommend you pick up the phone and call your clients to discuss the usage. And then we just want to share with you a number of ways that you can just make sure you're giving your app every chance possible for as many people in your sphere to download it. You have a website, a contact us page like Jenny here. You want to have a nice little link to download your app. Like our friend here, Jeffrey, he uses the App Store badges in his email signature. And I don't remember if I sent these to you guys last week, but I'll double check. I'll make sure I get you these badges if you don't have them, because it's really helpful if you put these badges in your email signature. And like Jeffrey did, if you have a website, you probably want to put them right on the main page of the website above the fold, like Jeffrey did, because you want to give your app every chance possible to be downloaded. But B, this is no small feat, getting in the App Store, right? Getting on Google Play. There's technical work you need to do. There's money that needs to be paid to do this. It has to be renewed every year. So it's not just a simple little thing that anybody can wander in off the street and have their own personally branded app in the App Store. You do. So you want to let the world know. Certainly adds an air of credibility to what you're doing. And then, like our friends here at Solid Rock did, although we don't have a direct link to share on Instagram, you want to put it out there where everybody can see it. I mentioned earlier about WhatsApp. We don't have a direct link to WhatsApp either, but you can just send a message to your WhatsApp connections and just take your unique link and send it to them, and they can click it and download your app easily. Do you have a Facebook business page? You want to put it up there as a sticky post. Use the badges, so anytime you can attract anybody to your business page, that's the first thing they'll see at the top of the page. Okay, I said in the beginning I was going to give you a formula as easy as 1, 2, 3. You already know it. You're already doing it, but I think it was worth repeating some of it, right? You want to get all of your past, your current, and anybody you talk to in the future, get them to download your app. But don't forget, you want to encourage them to create an account. Now, if you go to the Smarter Agent Facebook page, I haven't seen it yet, but Rachel in marketing tells me that we've got a couple videos there that some of our other clients have done on how to suggest this to your clients. So you may want to go there and see if you can grab some ideas and make your own videos to give to your clients about creating an account. And remember, we want to share with them what's in it for them, right? And what's in it for them is they can then save properties and save searches and get notifications. But for you, it's a home run, because now you can see who they are, and when they're traveling around the Engage dashboard, you can reach out to them at any time that it's timely. Okay, step 2, I think you've all done this based on the training we did last week. If you haven't done it, maybe you grabbed a screenshot today or go back and review last week's. You want to make sure you activate that Engage portal, because that's where Molly talks about a gold mine. It's in the Engage portal where the gold exists. And then step 3, I already gave this away earlier. There's no magic, right? You just need to share and engage. You just need to tell everybody about your app, share with everyone your app. Try to encourage them to create an account. Not everyone will, but we just keep doing it, and on it goes. And then this is just to review some of the things we started with. I won't go through this again. Now, I want to let you know, from time to time, things may happen in your app. And if they do, we're only a click of a button away you can reach out to us two ways. And probably the preferred way is not by what's on the screen, although you can email us at any time at smarteragent.com. Probably the preferred way is to hit us up right through the app help button on your app, because then when that message comes into us, we already know it's you. We don't have to ask, well, who are you? What app are you with? Blah, blah. We have it because it comes right across to us.